Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Push for Love, where positivity and inspiration thrives. I'm your host, Kim Marie, and we are thrilled to embark on this journey with you as we explore uplifting stories, and share valuable insights and discover the power of positivity in our lives. Push for Love is a nonprofit organization that support parents with special needs children emotionally and financially. And also I have to add caregivers because we all is all the same. It's all the same. So today we have as our guest speaker is Lisa Carpenter. So Lisa, could you please introduce yourself and take us on your journey with your loved one?
Absolutely. So again, I'm Lisa Carpenter. Uh, I have a daughter who will be 40 years old in July.
Wow.
My daughter was born in 1984, born with cerebral palsy. That's something I did not know until she was about 13 months old. Up until then, I was in complete denial about her movement and what she should be doing at this stage. And, they're telling me that she should be walking at this stage. And she was doing none of that. But my denial was to just leave her alone. She'll do it when she's ready. But she got sick, and I wound up having to take her to I think at the time was Group Health. That was the name of the medical organization. I took her there because she was sick. The medical doctor was persistent about telling me she's not developing well. She's not doing what she should be doing at this stage in her life. She's not rolling over. She's not doing all of these things. I was getting very irritated with him because in the back of my mind, honestly, I suspected something was wrong, but I just was not ready to accept it. But he was relentless. He insisted that we see the neurologist on that day, not tomorrow, but on that day. So to appease him, that's what I did. And immediately the neurologist kind of gently said, I think she has cerebral palsy. It appears to be cerebral palsy. And me and my daughter's father at the time knew a little bit about cerebral palsy, but didn't really know exactly what to expect. So in asking questions, he told us point blank, a lot of what her development will be is left up to God,
Okay.
point blank.
Right.
So from that point, I just prayed and asked God to direct my path. Whatever comes, let me know. And it has been a journey, from figuring out programs, trying to get her in school. I had some advocates along the way that helped me with getting her into public school. DC public school. That was a journey all by itself. We she had to be tested. They had to place her. We finally got her there though.
What district was this? What part of
So this was
what school?
Sharp Health School. Sharp Health School is where she began her
Was it
journey.
DC or Maryland?
DC.
DC. Okay.
Sharp Health School in DC. She was actually in a program before then, like a daycare for people with disabilities. But when she turned 3, she transitioned from the daycare to DC Public School, Sharp Health School.
Okay.
Uh, Little journey with Sharp Health School, some good and some bad. I had to become her advocate. I had to
Right.
become her advocate. I had to fight for her rights in that school, for the teachers. Maybe when she was about 14, 15. Incident happened in her school, in Sharp Health School.
Mm-hmm.
The incident happened, and I had to wind up suing the school,
Oh,
suing
wow.
DC Public School, um, which was very scary. I did not know. Thank God I found a lawyer, special needs lawyer, who kind of knew the ins and outs of the school and the program. But um, the end result, which was good, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but the end result was she wound up going to a school in Virginia, St. Coletta. She won the case, and she wound up going to a school in Virginia, St. Coletta's, where DC had to transport her to and from
Wow.
because
Something.
they lost the case. So
Right.
they had to pay for her to go to St. Coletta's, and they also had to pay for her transportation to go to St. Coletta's. So it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because the school was not as crowded as DC Public School.
Mhm.
She got more learning experience. She got to be more independent in Sharp Health School. So I'm not Sharp, I'm sorry, St. Coletta's. So it turned out to be a very good experience. I wanted her to, which was difficult for me, but I wanted her to experience what every other student experienced, going
Yeah.
to the games, going to the prom, I wanted her to be able to experience life, life, because whether we like it or not, life is going to take hold,
That's right.
so.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Lisa. What level, because with cerebral palsy, as you know, my son has cerebral palsy as well. And
Mhm.
what level, it could be very mild to very severe. You could be moderate. So like where is she with that to where, as far as her independence and what you have to do for her or have someone to do for her, opposed of what she can just do on her own. Just where is she with that?
So I want to say she's between really more on the severe level,
Hmm.
a little bit on the moderate because she can like feed herself. She
Okay.
talks very well. She understands, she comprehends some.
Hmm.
She
Okay.
comprehends some. Sometimes it gets difficult, but
Yeah.
walking, she doesn't walk.
Hmm.
She's not able to dress herself. She's not able to. I do all of that, all the ADL. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
all of that for her. She's able to eat. If I put the food in front of her, most of the time she's able to eat because she has some use of her hands. But for the most part, I do most of the ADL, and she's not
Okay.
walking. So all the transferring from her chair to the toilet, from back to the toilet to the chair.
Mm.
She can stand briefly holding on to a pole or the bars, but not stand on her own.
Okay.
We kind of work through that. She stands and I sit her down, she stand, it kind of we work together
Hmm.
on that. But yeah, so
Also, let me ask you also, with we have that in common. Now, Jabril was premature because I developed toxemia and he
okay,
was premature. So that's what caused his cerebral palsy.
okay.
And I'll tell my story one of these days. I'll tell my story. But when I'm listening, see, I know you've been to the Push for Love retreat, and I know you told everyone, you know how it goes. Everyone, especially if you're new, I always allow you all to express yourself and tell your story. And I just didn't know that part, that she had cerebral palsy, but um at the same time, it's like you sound so similar to my story is similar to yours, but of course, there's always some sort of difference there. And
Absolutely.
yes, and so like I say, Jabril, he has cerebral palsy because of the prematurity. And
Mhm.
the doctor told me that the part of the brain that controls the motor skills didn't fully develop because he was premature. So
Yes.
what is your daughter's name? Do you mind saying?
Umia.
Umia. Wow. And that is so beautiful and unique.
Yeah.
Umia. Wow. Okay. So with Umia, what was she premature or what happened there?
So, so same thing, pretty much your story. I guess I had eclampsia.
Eclampsia. Yep. They say eclampsia or toxemia. Yes.
Yeah, so I had more fluid on me than they kept thinking I was further along than I was supposed to be because of the fluid, but it
Mhm.
was the fluid. So at the end, same thing. She had eclampsia. She was born, part of the brain shut down that her,
Controls the motor skills and stuff.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly shut down. And this is what happened.
So how far were you? Was it 2 months? Was she
Um,
born 2 months early, or because Jabril was 3 months early?
No, and really, I was maybe about a month and a half, because she was almost to full term. She was
Okay.
like literally 5 pounds, about like 5 pounds, 12 ounces. So she was almost to full term.
And see,
Almost.
Jabril was 1 pound four. He was either 1 pound 4 ounces or 1 pound 2 ounces. Can you
Wow.
imagine? That's why I call him my miracle baby. I'm like,
Absolutely.
can you
Absolutely.
imagine? Oh my gosh. One of these days I will tell my story and show pictures because the little booty on his foot looked like a boot.
Yeah.
He was so little. So, however, that's just amazing. Yeah. And I was curious to ask that because of Jabril was so small. And I know I think it's after 7 months,
Yeah.
the everything pretty much is fully everything is developed,
Yeah.
it's just gaining the weight.
Yeah.
But if you develop something like toxemia or eclampsia, it could interfere with
Yes.
that. Obviously I never knew about it until
Yes.
my middle child. I That was the first time I had toxemia, was with my middle child. And then the doctor told me if I were to get pregnant again, it would come even earlier.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it did. It was like a 50-50 chance. And
Yeah.
I took the chance. He came earlier and he was even smaller. So I was like, okay, I'm done. No
Yeah.
more of this. My first child, full term, you
Mhm.
know, he was still small, but the second and third, I did develop the toxemia. But my middle son, with the first time I had the toxemia, he's fine. He was 2 pounds 3 ounces, and he's fine. But because it was right there at that border, that I had crossed that line,
Yeah.
and because of the brain. However, go ahead and tell your story because it's so similar.
So
I
I
was
wanted to
in
say
denial
that
too.
we do have more in common than you think, because my first my son, he was a twin, but they were born prematurely as well. And my son was, I think it was 3 pounds, 10 ounces, but the
Mhm.
twin, the girl didn't make it. The girl didn't make
Oh,
it. And for the same reason. So they were more premature than
wow.
Mia was. Right, right. So yeah, and for the
And
same,
most twins, a lot of times they're a little underweight anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
didn't know that. Now
yeah,
I'm learning some stuff about you.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, he made it though, and he's fine. He's fine.
Okay.
So
Wow. Okay.
no. But
Yeah.
yeah,
She's your youngest?
she is the youngest.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So I only have two. I have my son and I have her, and she's the youngest. Yes. So yeah, it was a difficult stage for him to accept that, his sister was not walking because he was only 8.
Okay.
At times sister wasn't walking, the sister wasn't doing the things that normal kids do, it was a
Right.
difficult process for him. But when I found out, I was able to sit him down and talk to him. And, the same thing, a lot of whatever goes on with her is going to be left up to God. She may walk, she may not. And she didn't. She didn't walk. So,
Right.
yeah,
But it was good that the doctors told you that instead of trying
absolutely.
to make it sound like, well, she either can do this or they'd be like, you know what, she would never. I don't like it when doctors do that, uh,
Absolutely.
because again, they're not God, and you
Absolutely.
can't say because they have been proven wrong
Yes.
enough to plenty of times. So I'm glad he said that to you.
Yeah. And
Um,
I really cherish that too, because I felt
yeah,
like he didn't try to really sugarcoat it. He told me what it was. He didn't try to give me, what he thinks is going to happen.
mhm.
It's just a lot left up to God.
And that's
But
true.
yeah, yeah, and I had to find my way through this. It was new and a new experience. Nobody in my family had ever dealt with it. So yeah, I had to find my way through it. And I did. I did, little by
Yes,
little.
you did. Yes, you
You
did.
remember DC General had the clinic for handicapped children. At the time it was called the Sick Children's Clinic or something.
Okay. I was born in DC General too, so
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know much
it
of
was
what
been
they
40
had.
years, 40 years, but yeah, they had a clinic over there for
Okay,
children with disabilities. So I got a lot of help from them over there and
that's
a
good.
lot of direction, despite what people say about DC General, they
Mhm.
worked really hard for me. They did. So yeah, we kind of got to St. Coletta's. That's where I left off. Got to St. Coletta's. Everything worked out well. And then I moved to Maryland, PG County. And
Okay.
so she could not go to St. Coletta's anymore. She wound up going to Frederick Douglass for high school.
Mm,
Frederick Douglass in PG County. But that was a very rewarding experience as well, because
good.
she had a teacher who was on top of things. She let me know Yumia's getting ready to graduate. She needs to get these paperwork done if you want her in a day program. Because of course I'm working, so being home all day was not going to be the key
Right.
for me.
Right.
So I got the paperwork done in time, and she graduated in 2005, and she went directly from graduation to a day program,
Okay.
which was a blessing for me,
Yeah.
a blessing for me. It was United Cerebral Palsy in Lanham. So she got a lot of work experience.
Mhm.
They had therapy there for her. They did a lot of life skills, teaching her
Okay.
life skills. So
Yeah.
um really a rewarding experience. Like I said, it's took a lot. It's a lot, because I don't know, you know people who have a person with special needs. We go through a lot of ups and downs. They have we have good moments and we have bad moments, and sometimes it can be very it just can be hard,
Very challenging.
very
I like to use that word.
challenging. Absolutely.
I like to use that word. I strive to use words that's a little
Mhm.
softer, I should say. It's
Yeah,
very challenging, and because it is,
yeah,
because it is, you know.
it is. It can be very challenging. Even now at 40,
Mhm.
it's still challenging. We just have our ups and downs. We have ups and downs.
But Lisa, I'm looking at here it is. I'm a single parent, and I have to run my life, Jabril's life, the
Yeah,
household. I got to do everything, right? I have to think about
yes,
everything. And
yes,
that's very challenging. But then, you're married, but see, you still
yes,
as a wife, and
yes,
you're taking care of, I mean, you got wife duties.
Absolutely.
And you got daughter do.
Absolutely.
And
And my husband is I mean we're into our third year of marriage. So
okay.
he came in, on like this end. He wasn't there at the
At the
beginning.
beginning, yes, yes. Yeah, it's only
So
been 3 years, you say.
he's
So,
learning, he's learning. It's so challenging for him because he's learning, and
but the beautiful thing about that, I will have to say, is that he's willing.
absolutely,
He accepted and he's willing. And
absolutely,
that is wonderful. So kudos to him as well.
absolutely. I said, and he has been a big help. He has been a big help because further down the line, my daughter, she had a boyfriend. Okay,
Mhm.
I mean, they're human. They're gonna have their boyfriends.
Right.
I took her to the doctor. This was about 9 years ago. Took her to the doctors just because it was time for a physical, but my spirit, something wasn't right. I know cycle time, when it's supposed to start, when it's supposed to end, and something just wasn't feeling right. So while I was at the doctor, I did tell them to just do a pregnancy test. I didn't think that was going to amount to anything, but the pregnancy test came back positive. I'm like, oh, here we go. Yes, I was very shocked. I was very shocked. I don't know. Again, you go into denial because I'm saying I know they both in wheelchairs. He's had cerebral palsy too.
As
Uh,
well.
yeah,
Wow.
they both in wheelchairs. So,
And I know when you told the story, and we kind of laugh, and it's all right to have a little sense of humor with this, because you was like, I was like, how did this happen, right?
yes,
How did this
yes.
happen? And I thought
That's
that was
funny
kind of
because
funny because I was like,
people always
I'm
ask
laughing the
that. I'm
same
like,
way.
yeah, same way, and I mean, it happened, blew me away, but it happened. And as a
Wow,
result,
how was that process though of giving birth with her and
believe it or not, it wasn't really bad. It was,
okay.
I
Well,
thought
that's good.
if she's going to be sick, we're going to have to go through stuff. But she went the full 9 months. She went the
Wow.
full 9 months carrying that baby. She didn't have
Wow.
one problem, nothing that we had to go to the doctor for, nothing that we had to, she was having any complications. They did warn her that she's high risk.
Okay.
Also, right at the very end, she developed eclampsia right
Oh,
at the very end.
okay.
But by then, they were going to take the baby. It was just a beautiful process.
So
I
was it natural or did they have to take it?
So they were trying to do natural
Okay.
because I mean, nothing was wrong. There was nothing going on.
Yeah.
She could do natural. They figured she can push it out. But she was in labor maybe 36 hours.
Okay.
And the head doctor came in and said it's a little too long. He was feeling uncomfortable with trying to push the baby out through the regular process. So
Okay.
at the last minute, they decided to do a C-section. So
C-section. Okay. Okay.
baby came out healthy, still
Oh,
healthy today. I have a
was it
9-year-old
a
healthy
daughter? It was a girl?
a girl,
Okay.
9-year-old healthy girl who is healthy. She's healthy. Now, this is a process. The process of my daughter trying to be a mother and take care of a baby was very hard.
Yeah.
That's when the process really got sticky because her, she's moderate mental
Yeah.
stage. Her
Okay.
mentality is moderate. She understands a lot, but some things are not don't come easy for her.
Mhm.
And it's still a process because she doesn't like for the baby to cry. She doesn't like for the baby to cry. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, she doesn't like for the baby to cry. She doesn't like, you're kind of teaching her how to be. a mother, and I'm doing most of the mothering.
Of course, of course. So
So
let me ask you a question on that though. Do you notice, because it was brought to my attention that, and I kind of experienced it and I just didn't know, but then when it was brought to my attention, I looked at some things, people that I knew, of course, my own son, that people with cerebral palsy, they are a little more sensitive, is emotionally. They
yeah,
are more emotionally just sensitive. They maybe things might upset them a little easier, you know. And my sister actually brought that to my attention because I experienced something with someone, I should say. And I didn't understand why she got so upset. And this sister had cerebral palsy, but she was older, but I didn't understand why she didn't understand, where I was coming from. And she just got so upset. And it wasn't much of anything. And
yeah.
so I thought about that. I said, well, I have to take that in consideration, even with my son. So I
Yeah.
just want to ask you that do you see that? Have you experienced that or no?
As far as her being more
Yeah.
emotional, or
Yes.
me as her mom, I'm sorry, I
No,
was
her, your
missing that.
daughter.
Are you asking, am I more emotional at times, or is she?
No, is she?
Yes, yes, she is. So I said, I think very sensitive to what people say, what people do. She's very sensitive. We're
Okay.
kind of going through something now because she's in a day program, and uh um
How do you handle that though? Since you know that, how do you handle her being sensitive? Because I know how I handle Jabril, so how do you deal with that?
Um, we do a lot of talking, trying to get her to understand people are, want to be people. Like I said, she kind of gets in her feelings about things that somebody might say, or somebody might interact with her the wrong way, So um handling it is just talking it through.
Okay.
Okay, what we things that we can control and things that we can't control, because we can't control what people do. If they're not touching you, if they're not, blatantly hurting you in some way other than talking, we kind of talk through that. Like I said, we're kind of going through that now.
Okay.
It's been day by day, telling her, we can't control what other people do. We really can't control what other people say, but she's very sensitive. She gets very sensitive, very emotional, when she comes home and, feelings got hurt because somebody said something uh, that wasn't nice.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we a lot of talking, a
that's
lot of
good.
hugs, a lot of trying
That's
to,
right.
reassure her that we are a lot of trying to reassure her that it's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this.
Right.
We've had incidents along the way that have happened in
Of
the school,
course.
and we had to deal with them. We had to deal with them. She's been in therapy because of two of the incidents. We had to do therapy behind them, but we deal with them. We had to deal with them. It's
Mhm.
life.
It's life.
It's
And
life.
they still have to kind of learn to some degree. It may not be to the fullest of how we understand it or how we handle it or deal with it and
Right.
understand the world, but to the level of where they can, as much as they can. And
Absolutely.
again, it's like talking is very important.
Absolutely.
And I know with Jabril, I have to use certain words. uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, I can't, although I can talk to him like how you and I are talking, but at the same time, his his little world is wrestling and karate and that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So if
Yeah.
you talk to him about that, oh, he's like pumped.
He can
Okay, as they say,
really,
he's really excited.
yeah, right, right,
But even when it comes to the nurses that's here, I know his body language and he speaks a lot with his eyes.
right.
And I was like, okay, he's not feeling this one, and neither am I. So
Yes.
we will have the talks. I'm like, because he has to deal with them,
Yes.
in a different way, because they ain't touching me, but they're touching him. And
Absolutely.
so when they leave in our private moments, at the end of the day, I talk to him. I say, well, what do you think about this nurse? Should we
Yes.
keep this person, or should we, give him a little bit more time, or should we get rid of him? And he let me know. He'd be like, he'd take his hand, like go across his neck, like get rid of him.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Or he was like, well, she basically more women. She,
Yeah.
she's all right, and
Mm.
I said, you want to give a little bit more time? And he'll take his fingers together, like, okay, a little bit more time. Or he'll just say, yeah, I'm cool with her.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. And so he knows, and I let him make those type of decisions. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna totally make it,
Absolutely.
because I can't. I have to give him that, because I might like somebody, but most of the time it don't work out like that. Most of the time, if he don't like him, I don't like him either.
Yeah.
If I don't like him, he don't like him either. Most of the time, we're right there together.
Yeah.
We understand
No,
that. So, but yeah,
I so talking to my daughter a lot because she's very vocal.
okay,
I always said nothing wrong with that mouth, but
good.
yes, yes, she's very vocal. So, we kind of talk about, like you said, the caregivers that come.
Hmm.
The thing with her is trying to get her to speak up. These
Okay,
people work for you.
that's
You
right.
work for them. So we need them to understand when you say something, because it's not just caregivers. People have a tendency to ignore. They're
Yeah.
like, she's invisible.
Yep.
She can say she wants potatoes, and you will look to me and say, can she eat potatoes? Well, she just said she wanted potatoes. She
Right.
can speak. So
Right.
that is disturbing.
Right.
Caregivers tend to, if she says she wants to go to the movies, and the caregiver decides that she doesn't want to take her to the movies, then that's a problem.
Right.
So you have to, trying to push her to be more vocal with them. Yeah, you work for me.
That's right.
And it's hard. So I step in where I need to, but I really want, and we discuss this all the time. I really want you to say, give yourself the opportunity to say what you want. Now, if this person is continuing to ignore you, yes, I will get involved, but I want you to be able to say to them, this is what I want. This is how I want it done, because they work for you, and that's a problem. Sometimes uh, they are, for lack of a better word, invisible to these people. Like what they say doesn't matter, or you're thinking she doesn't know what she's talking about, and that's not acceptable. That's not
And
acceptable.
Lisa, absolutely. That's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother changing that whole little system. It has to change. And I believe that it will, because this right here, I look at it, it's just we're in the middle of this thing here, as far as how they think. It's their mindset. And it's
Yeah.
time for them, it's time for a program or something to be involved with their skill, whatever they go to school for. And, they need to bring this piece in so they can understand. They got to change their mindset about people that they're taking care of, caregivers, or special needs children. It doesn't matter what, or special needs adult. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
They have to change their whole mindset about this.
Yes.
And I think I go through that in my household. I'm already doing it, and it's tough because they look at me like, why am I saying what I'm saying? And I'm
Uh,
like, because I need to be saying what I'm saying,
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just believe, and I've been doing my prayers, and I
Yeah.
have the faith.
Yes.
God knows, He knows what's going on, and He knows that this is not the proper way He want these people to be dealt with.
Right. Right.
So it's a process. So it's not going to happen on its own. So
Right.
we do we as the parents, we have to speak up. We have to,
Absolutely.
and that's why Push for Love is here doing the interviews, the retreats, and then bringing more and more people involved with Push for Love so
Yes.
that we as caregivers, we can have resources,
Absolutely.
and we got to speak up. We have to do it. And I speak up and talk about it every moment that I can
Yeah.
because this has to change and it's not going to change on its own. It's
Yeah.
just not, so
And
go.
it's always an ongoing process,
It is.
it doesn't matter the age, it's always ongoing. Like I said, my daughter will be 40 in July, but it's still an ongoing process. It really is, it's
It
still
is.
on. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that one of the nurses told me and said, Kim, she believed one of the reasons why um, I might be going through what I go through with some of these nurses is because I'm very hands-on.
Yeah.
Whereas so they go into these homes and some of them don't care, just like do whatever you want to do. They just happy to have someone there. And
Yeah.
I understand it, but no, not here. Because
Yeah.
people come in, they do whatever, and that whatever is not what they should be doing.
Absolutely.
And I'm not allowing you to do that. I've worked very hard to maintain his health.
Absolutely.
I've done my prayers and I had to put my action in. I make sure that he don't eat certain things. I pay attention. I pay it to the best of my ability. And that's why, Lisa, with Push for Love, I pray to God and ask, what's the direction? And the direction is health, our
Yeah.
mental, physical, and spiritual health.
Yeah.
Because when we have those, we cannot neglect ourselves. We can't. It's
Absolutely.
a must. We must not do that.
Yeah.
We cannot do it. And so
And
uh,
it's so easy to do,
it is.
wrapped up in taking care of your loved one, you forget that you are a person too. Like you said, I'm a mother, I have another son, I'm a wife, I
You're a
work,
grandmother,
a grandmother. Yeah. So it can be very easy to just forget about you,
and you have to just stop and say, you know what? I'm gonna take a day for myself.
Absolutely.
I don't
Absolutely.
care if it's once a month. You got to find it in there somewhere, regardless of how busy your schedule may be.
Absolutely.
Take a
So
moment for yourself. Love yourself enough.
yeah, and
You
I'm
know,
starting to do some things that I enjoy. Once a week I have something, I do something that I enjoy.
good for you.
Even if I have to pay for a caregiver, I'm going to do it because I need that space and time for myself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm so happy for you because that's what we talk about at Push for Love.
Yes.
It was like,
Yes.
no, it's
Yes.
a must. And I know it's challenging, but
Yes.
I have to push this
Yes.
thing.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry.
I have to push for this. I have to talk about it the way that I'm very passionate about this
Yeah.
because I know the importance and I know on both sides because I live it every single day. And before Jabril, I didn't have a problem taking time out for myself. I learned how to go and have dinner by myself. I learned how to go and stay at a hotel for the weekend by myself. I learned how to go to the movies by myself. It was a little weird at first. I was like, okay, this is kind of strange because I was used to having someone there. But then
Yeah.
I realized, I said, this feels pretty good. I
Yeah.
kept doing it to where it felt good. It felt natural. Then at the restaurant, I would see someone else, a young lady over there. She's sitting by herself. Gentleman
Yeah.
over there, he's sitting over there by himself. They're not with him. I said, oh, so people really do these things. They really do go out by themselves, right? And I start embracing that. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it to spend time with myself. So Push for Love, that's what we're going to do. We're going to push for love and we're going to actually push for the caregivers to understand that and then work on it. There's another phase to this. Work on when you're not around your loved ones that you're taking care of, not to feel so guilty.
Yes.
See, we
Yeah.
deal with that too. And our
Yeah.
mind, and we're really not even away because our mind is there. I
Yes.
wonder what's going on. If that person all right, or whoever.
Mm,
And we gotta like not do that too. Because
absolutely.
then you're really not in the moment. We gotta learn to be in the moment to really embrace what's going on with
Yes.
you at that time. So it's a phase. I mean, it's a process. Let me say it like that. It's a process.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely a process. And even at 40, I'm still learning. I'm still learning this process, like you said, to really leave and not feel guilty, to take care of myself and not feel like I'm doing something wrong. I should always be doing something for my daughter, or now my granddaughter. I have the two of them. I should always be doing something for them and not for myself. And you have to be careful because they will get you in that mode,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny when I leave the house. I was out yesterday for a little while, and my granddaughter want to know what time I'm coming in, what time will you be home? And my daughter gets like that. She
Okay.
thinks that I should be here. So if I'm out, they call like, what time am I coming home? So I stop answering.
Mm-hmm.
I will get home when I get home. You
Right.
ain't care unless somebody calls me and tells me it's an emergency. I am out. I'm
There
out.
you go. There
I
you go.
when I get home. It's difficult though, because
I know, but
the
we
guilt
have to
kicks
do
in.
that. We have to do it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's healthy for us when
yeah,
we actually, you know, get through that process and be able to so-called, like I would say, be free to be
yes,
and take care of you. If it's shopping,
yes,
buying stuff or window shopping or movie or just for a walk or whatever it may be. Like
absolutely.
coming to the boat, I can't wait for the boat retreat. I
Oh,
can't wait for
absolutely. Absolutely. That's
that.
something I'm looking forward to. Again, it's a process, and you do sometimes feel guilty. I'm like, well, maybe I should be home because they're not
But
feeling.
you're always home. But you're
I'm
always
always
home.
home. That's why I said, oh my God, I'm always home. Why do I feel like I need to be there now? I'm taking a few hours for myself. Why do I feel like I need to be there now? But I'm learning. I stopped answering the phone. They stop calling, like they just keep calling me. I'm not answering the phone. I am busy. I have to take the time for myself. And that is it, like I said, it gets difficult sometimes, but I'm doing it. I'm doing
Right. Yes, you are. And I'm like so very proud of you. And I will say, as we wrap this up, I will say that we have to just be more gentle. Be gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
Be more loving to yourself. It's all right. You're
Yes.
not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right
Yes.
because you're taking care of you along with taking care. It's kind of like, let me say it like this. We're more valuable than what I'm about to say, but you take care of your car so your car could continue to run, to
Yeah.
take you where you gotta go,
Yeah.
right? You
Yes.
clean it, you take it to the car wash, you get the tires, when it's needed, all the maintenance, oil change and whatever. When it breaks down, you get another part or whatever to
Yeah.
maintain that, right? We got
Yes.
to we are the vehicles,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
we're the one that's driving everything. Mother, grandmother, your wife,
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to maintain. What
Yeah.
does that look like? That means be gentle with yourself, love yourself enough so that you can just say, hey, everybody else go out and just do what they want to do when they want to do it for themselves, right? Why
Yes.
can't you?
Absolutely.
It may not be as often, but when doggone it, when you say, hey, I need a moment to myself and I want to go, you should go do it and don't feel guilty
Absolutely. Absolutely.
at all. There is no reason, but I do understand why, because we all go through it. It's because of our love that we have for our loved ones.
Yes.
I have a camera when I'm out. I just look in. I'm like, hey, and see, I sit there if I'm having dinner by myself or just out sitting
Yeah.
at the park or whatever. I say, well, let me just check in. I could take the camera, on my phone, and I just look in. And
Okay.
if I feel like I need to say something,
Mhm.
then I'll speak. I can speak through it. Jabril hears my voice. The nurse hears my voice. I can tell if his computer, the monitor part, is not down so he can see it. And I
Yeah.
might speak in and say, whatever nurse is on duty, I say, so and so, could you please adjust his monitor so he can see the computer? And they'll get up and do it. You know, it's Jabril. As long as he sees some movement and he can hear, he may not say anything. If I'm home, he might tell me, Ma, I can't see, but he may not be able to say that to them.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
I could speak through. I'm like, if they sitting there chilling and the bed seem like it's up enough, or if he's leaned over, I say, could you please sit him up?
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
speak. And so that I'm still here, but I'm not here,
Yes, yes.
so that helps a lot. So just
Wow.
something to think about.
Yeah, because I've never done that, but
Yeah, you should
listening
do it.
to you, yes, listening to you, that might be a next step for me. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it wherever I have two. I have one that's sitting on the counter so I can see what's going on in the kitchen because they should only be two places in my house, in the kitchen or in the bedroom. Those
Yes.
are his bedroom. If I don't see them either place there, I give them a few minutes because they could be in the bathroom. All right, of course, I'm not going to have it there. So I
Right.
give them a few minutes. And then, you know, if they not back by a reasonable time, I'm calling the phone, you
Yes.
know, and be
Yes.
like, okay, where are you?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
most of the time I don't have to do that.
Okay.
So that helps a lot, and I talked to one young lady, another young lady, she has a son with autism.
Mm-hmm.
What she did, and I should be talking to her and interviewing her as well, and she'll speak more about it. What she did, which I thought it was a great idea, she actually had her son, she told the police who he is, take a picture of him. So if you ever see him out, you know his situation.
Right.
He has autism, and she has a sign on her door and that whole little thing. So everybody in the neighborhood know her son and his condition. So nobody in the police will not be mistaken him of
Right.
why I didn't know that he didn't have, a disability. The
Right.
police department there where she lived, they know and they have pictures of him. So that's something I said, I think that's a wonderful thing too. And having a
Absolutely.
sign on her door. I know if the family across the hall from me, they should be at they're going to be at the boat retreat, Push for Love boat retreat as well. They have a sign on their door that says, my child has autism, you
Oh,
know, and I think he even have a wristband or something like that. So these are different little tools or different things that we can do to
yeah.
kind of secure. And that's why I love talking to different people because I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
you
That's,
know? So
yeah.
I think for you, get your camera on your
Absolutely.
phone
Yeah. I'm
and put them
absolutely.
where you want them to be, where you know she's going to be and
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would I think that would actually help you, especially while you're out, because
Yeah.
you don't even have to speak all the time. You could just let me just look in,
Yep.
see what's going on.
Yep. I certainly
So
gonna.
maybe if you had those cameras back then in your door, with
Yeah.
the
Yeah. How
Your
about that?
grandbaby was supposed to be here.
Right.
It
Right.
is a beautiful thing. That's just funny
Yes.
to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful, though. It's really beautiful. Your
It's
granddaughter was meant to be here. That's a beautiful
absolutely.
process.
That's my
You
miracle baby. That's what I call
That's
it.
right.
My
That's right.
miracle
I
baby.
love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So thank you. So I want to just wrap this up. Any last words that you want to say to us, Lisa? I'm personally, I would just say I'm so proud of you. I
Yeah.
mean, you're holding it down. You look so good. And I can't wait to physically see you again on July 20th.
Yes.
The Push for Love boat retreat,
Mhm.
the Odyssey in DC. Oh, I can't wait because it's really
Yeah.
about we could just mingle. If you want to dance, the
Mhm.
DJ is going to be there. We all still going to get a gift bag, Push for Love gift bag. I always got to give that, but we're not going to have those speakers, no nothing. We just going to enjoy, eat your food, dance if you want to, just enjoy 2 hours on the water.
Yeah.
Talk to whoever that's there.
Yes.
That whole little thing, and just if you want to just be quiet, just be quiet.
And I'm
You
looking
know?
forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I want to say that I just so appreciate you and Push for Love, because up until this point, I never even knew programs, for caregivers existed. And this just helped a lot and opened my eyes to a lot. And, sometimes you feel alone in this process, but I don't want to start crying because I'm a crier.
Oh,
But
I know.
you
I
all
go
have
through that
helped
too.
me to not feel alone. I'm not alone in this process.
No, you're not.
Other people go through too. And, us all coming together, it really does help a lot. It really does. People don't know what it does for just you giving me the suggestion of the cameras. I'm like, look, there's something I never thought about, but I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. So I appreciate you and Push for Love. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And it's all right to cry because I know that's why I haven't really told my story, because I know when I get into it and I look at what God has brought me through, I have to say that. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. And I'm just so proud of all of us, you
Yes.
know. And again, like my uncle said at one of the retreats, he said that this wasn't given to us just because. It
Mm-mm.
was given to us because we can do it.
Yes.
We can do it. And it's like, I mean, we have the heart to love like that.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you and all the other parents that's out here that's taking care of our loved ones. And you are doing an awesome job. You
Thank
really, really are. You are so welcome. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. And I can't wait to see you
you.
on July. It's so far away. I wish it was like next week,
I
but
know, right?
it can't come fast enough, but at the proper time.
Yeah.
So with that said, I just want to say that anyone that want to be a sponsor or make a donation, you can go to the website pushforlovegives.com, and you can also purchase any of the apparel that supports the nonprofit. And also you can email me at pushforloveinc@gmail.com, pushforloveinc@gmail.com. If you have any questions or just want to follow up on what Push for Love is doing. But again, we are looking for sponsors for this trip, July 20th, 2024. And also, we always welcome donations because we got to keep this thing going. We are very, very appreciative for whatever you can do. So thank you so much, Lisa, and we'll be talking soon.
Okay, thank you.
You have a blessed day.
You as well.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.